Hi Bobcats, this is Miss Lee, and we're going to work today on analyzing and interpreting box plots. Please make sure that you take notes as needed, and we're going to start by discussing the center, spread, and shape. This box plot represents the Fighting Sharks. It's a swim team, and the data represents the number of laps that each person on the team swam. So number of laps. All right, the difference between the least number of laps swam and the greatest number of laps swam is blank laps. So we need to find that. What is the difference between the least and the greatest number of laps swam? What does that sound like? It sounds like a range, doesn't it? And what kind of range is it? Is it the range of the box, which is the IQR, the interquartile range, or is it the range of the whole box plot? The least number of laps and the greatest. We're talking about the whole plot. So it's the regular range, high minus low. And is that going to be describing the center, the spread, or the shape? The spread, isn't it? The spread and the range describes the spread, how spread out the data is. And I think of the spread as two different ways. As either living out in the country living. When you live out in the country, you have a lot of land, so your houses are not close together, they're spread out. And then city living, where you don't have a lot of land and your houses are close together, or maybe you live in apartments that you're kind of crammed in together. Might be the same number of people. You might have 100 people living out in the country and 100 people living in the city, but are they spread out, meaning a large range? Or are they all clustered together, meaning a small range? Okay, I just want you to be careful. Some students make the mistake when they find the range of using the smallest and the greatest number of the number line. And we don't want to do that. It's the smallest and the greatest of the box plot. So we're looking at the minimum and the maximum. So if I go straight down, I can see that I'm at 26 for the minimum, and the maximum, so 26, 1, 2, 3, 4, nope, sorry, 25. 25 for the minimum, and the maximum is 56. So I just need to find the difference. So 56 minus 25. And it's going to be 31 laps. So that this is the range, how spread out the data is. So what do you think? Is there a lot of variability? Because range also describes the variability, right? Is there a lot of variability in the number of laps swam? Meaning, are we living out in the country or are we living in the city? I would say that there's a lot of variability, because swimming 25 laps and 56 laps, that's a big difference in the number of laps to swim, right? So I would say for this topic, the number of laps swam, it would be a large variability. But we're talking about the spread. Number 2, the median is blank laps. Median. What is the median? It's the middle. And we've already learned that the middle is represented by the line inside the box, which is at 30. I know this does not describe the center. It doesn't describe the spread. When we're talking about shape, we're talking about, is it symmetric or is it skewed? And we're not talking about that here. We're talking about the center. And we know it's the center because it is the median or the middle. Since the range between the median and the maximum is blank than the range between the minimum and the median, the data is skewed to the right. Okay, we're talking about it being skewed, so we know we're talking about shape. So the range between the median and the maximum. So I'm going to highlight that here. This is the median, this is the max. Is this range here greater than or less than the range of the median to the minimum? It's greater than. You can definitely see that. It's a lot longer, it's more spread out. So it's greater than. So that means it is skewed to the right, and that is your shape. Okay, let's do another example. The ages of the 56 people who signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776 are represented in the plot below. And it tells you that we're talking about their age in years. So let's determine the age range for the middle 50%. First thing you need to do is figure out where's the middle 50%. Well, we've talked about this already. We've talked about the percents. We know that a box plot is cut into four parts. We have from the minimum to quartile 1, from quartile 1 to the median, from the median to quartile 3, and from quartile 3 to the maximum. So these are the 4 parts. And even though they might be different lengths, they all represent the same amount of people and the same percentage. So each one represents 25%. For a total of 100%. So we want to talk about the middle 50%. The middle 50% is the box. So what is the range of this middle? It goes from, and these are numbered by 2s, 32, 4, 6, and to 50. So from 36 to 50 years. This range of the box itself, remember, is called the IQR. And if we wanted to actually know just the specific number for the IQR, we would subtract. 50 minus 36 would equal 14. Okay, the age of 75% of the signers is less than or equal to what? First, where is 75%? Let's just add up our percents. 25 plus 25 is 50, plus another 25 is 75. So 75% is at 50 years. So 75% of the signers is less than or equal to 50 years. What is the age range for the signers of the Declaration? So we're not talking about the middle range, we're talking about the actual age range. So it's going to be high minus low. The high is 70 years, the lowest age is 26, so subtract them and you get what, 44? And we know because our clue word was to find the range. And the last one, according to the box plot, where is the least variability in the ages of the signers? And explain. Okay, we just got done talking about that. Are we going to be living out in the country where we're spread out, have a lot of space in between our houses, or are we living in the city where we're clustered together? Least variability means we're going to be clustered. We're going to be living in the city. So which section, which part is the smallest? It would be right here, from the median to Q3, which is going to be from 44 to 50 years. That age range. Okay? And I think you're ready for some practice problems.